I bet many of you guys know Meshify C from Fractal Design, and recently the company introduced Meshify 2 to their lineup. While these are ATX cases, Fractal Design has only one model dedicated to micro ATX builds, and that's a Meshify C Mini. As I was using this one in a recent PC build, decided to make a dedicated review video of this PC case. If this is your first time on this channel, on Epic Game Tech I share my passion in gaming PC build videos, unboxing parts and helping you guys by posting simple how-to guides. So if you find these topics interesting, consider subscribing. Meshify C Mini is more of a mid-range PC case that comes with a tinted tempered glass side panel. It's the only version, meaning you have no white option that is available for a bigger brother Meshify C. Tempered glass is held by a thumb screws, but as it does not have any kind of a support at the bottom, be sure you place one hand below the glass and remove it carefully. Alright, so inside we have two included 120mm case fans, one pre-installed at the front and one at the back of the case. Two fan configuration is really okay unless you are going for a high-end build, but in that case most probably you'll be using different fans or water cooling solution anyway. These fans have a 3-pin connector, but you will be able to control their speed using a DC mode in your BIOS, unless you have some older motherboard that doesn't support this method. Meshify C Mini supports micro ATX and mini ITX motherboards, but in case you are planning to go for an ITX build, you can definitely find even more compact cases for your build. It's not a secret, lots of gamers love RGB, and so in total you can have 7 120mm fans, but you will need to remove a drive bay under a PSU shroud to mount a fan at the bottom. In case you decide to opt in for 140mm fans, you can fit two of these at the front and at the top of the case. As for water cooling, you can fit up to 280mm radiator at the front, 240 at the top and 120mm rad at the back of the case. But have in mind, some fan configurations like a third 120mm fan at the bottom or 280mm rad will force you to remove that PSU shroud plate, and that will expose whoever is hiding there. Let's move on and check the other side. And here, my friends, we have quite decent cable management possibilities. Even though it's a smaller case and there's no huge space under a PSU shroud, especially if you're using the drive bay, but you have quite a few zip tie points, rubber grommets, and those hook and loop straps. Also, this part is a bit deeper, so you'll have no probs routing your cables. But in any case, I would recommend going for a modular or semi-modular power supply if possible, as it will make your cable management even easier. Down at the basement we have a drive bay where you can mount two 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives. There are a few spots for your 2.5-inch drives behind the motherboard tray, so you are quite well equipped, having in mind most likely you will be using M.2 SSD anyway. It's possible to reposition a drive bay, but if you are not planning to use it anyway, you can remove it and use that space for your cables or additional 120mm fan at the bottom of the case. At the top we have a magnetic filter and quite a standard I/O, reset button, mic and audio jack, power button and two USB 3.0 ports. Unfortunately, there is no USB Type-C here. But this case was released back in 2018, and so possibly we can expect some refresh of the 2 model in upcoming future. And here we have quite a unique looking mesh type front panel. You can remove the whole front or just a mesh separately. Behind the mesh you will also find a dust filter. Potentially it can block some of the airflow, but it keeps your case dust free. Well, we will be able to check that in a thermal test soon and see how it performs. The whole bottom of Meshify C Mini is well breathable and is fully covered by a removable dust filter. Here come an included user guide and a box with some accessories. Lots of screws, zip ties, motherboard standoffs, and quite a nice bonus for keeping your glass side panel fingerprint free. I've used Meshify C Mini in my recent $1200 video editing PC build, and so let's check some thermal test numbers I've got. I've used Ryzen 7 3700X with a stock cooler and RTX 2060. To stress the CPU, I was running Blender, and at the same time I was stressing a GPU with MSI Combusta. And so I measured 3 different configurations. At stock, meaning 2 included 120mm case fans were used, CPU temperature was around 63 degrees Celsius delta T over ambient, and the GPU was running at 46 degrees. When I removed the front mesh panel, temps dropped by 2 degrees for a CPU and 3 degrees for a GPU. So it's quite a small difference, and you do not need to worry about it, as a mesh panel is not restricting airflow by much. The third combo was done by using 5 RGB fans from a first player, and I was keeping that mesh panel in place. CPU temps in this test fell somewhere in between at 61 degrees, while GPU temperature actually went up to 47 degrees Celsius. This is probably because top exhaust fans were sucking fresh air before it was reaching the GPU, especially the top right fan. While using a stock combo configuration, the front fan was directing air through the GPU to the exhaust fan at the back. So Meshify C Mini has quite a decent out-of-the-box fan configuration, and in general it feels a good quality product. So as I mentioned previously, it's more oriented towards mid-range or even higher budget micro ATX PC builds. As for my personal building experience in this case, it was really good, and the only thing I would like to see is some kind of a support system for a tempered glass side panel when removing it. Other than that, it's a good airflow-oriented PC case I can easily recommend to anyone. That's it for today, and you can find more PC case reviews by clicking here.